Alright guys, so today we left Queenstown and ventured into Mount Cook National Park, where we will spend the last 3 days of our South Island trip. So to get from Queenstown to Mount Cook National Park, first you will have to cross the Lindis Pass. It's approximately 60 kilometers long, with many beautiful sights and certainly not enough car parks. Except from the main car park on the top of the pass, there are only a handful of stops along the most beautiful parts. This is undoubtedly one of the most scenic routes on the South Island. If you are coming during the time when lupines are in full bloom, then calculate approximately 4 or 5 hours from Queenstown to Lake Tekapo, because as you get closer to the lakes you will stop plenty of times, and yes, even in stormy weather it is absolutely stunning. And since we arrived pretty late, we thought it's the best to see Tasman Glacier, because there is a few hikes which only takes you 40 minutes to complete and offers beautiful views, and since sunset is almost here, we thought it's a perfect ending to the day. Today we have decided to do the Hooker Valley Trek, which according to many are the most beautiful walk in New Zealand. So obviously we are curious, and also the other 1,000 people who are here. And to be honest, the past almost 3 weeks, while we were venturing through all the beautiful spots around the South Island, we barely saw anybody, and it was perfect. Now today that has changed, but still it's an enjoyable hike so far. It's not steep at all. It's basically a walk for 5 kilometers where you go up near Mount Cook and you can see all the surrounding peaks as well. And as it became a tradition to this series now, let me share a few interesting facts about Mount Cook National Park. You probably know this if you are watching this video, but Mount Cook is the highest peak of New Zealand with 3,754 meters height, and obviously it's the main feature of the Mount Cook National Park. The Maori people call this peak the Aoraki, and in direct translation that means the cloud piercer. If you are visiting this area or seeing a few images from here, you can definitely see why they call it like that. Most of the time it is in clouds because it's so high up. So in Mount Cook National Park you obviously have Mount Cook, but you also have 19 other peaks which are above 3,000 meters or 10,000 feet, which is just mind-blowing. And the last fact or last interesting thing about Mount Cook is that almost to date, 128 years ago on Christmas Day, the first man hiked to the top of Mount Cook. Now let's talk about the famous lakes in the area. Lake Pukaki, Lake Tekapo and Lake Oahu. It is one of the sunniest places of New Zealand, with an average of 6.5 hours of sunshine daily. Therefore, if you are in a bit of a luck and Mount Cook, or as the Maori people called it, the cloud piercer, shows itself, then you will get the famous image of the lupines with New Zealand's highest peak. Lastly, you may wonder about the color of these lakes. The water is coming from the southern Alps, which also means that it is coming from some of the biggest glaciers in New Zealand. Now, as the result of the cold mixing with the warmer waters, you will see the turquoise colors in these lakes. Alright, so with that our South Island adventures ended. We are about to head to the airport to catch a flight back to Sydney. I really hope you enjoyed this series of adventures here on the South Island. I'm stoked to edit all the videos and photos I got here. If you are planning to visit the North Island, I'm coming back here in a little bit more than 2 weeks. And if you missed any of the episodes, I will leave them somewhere up here. And see you guys in the next one.